I get it, you're staring at a stack of loose sheets, a half-finished report, and the thought of manually folding every page is already draining your energy. You've probably Googled desktop folder machine and found a dozen options, each promising to turn that chaos into a tidy stack in seconds. Before you toss another $100 at something that might end up collecting dust, let's walk through the FORMAX FD314 and see if it actually fits the kind of office you run. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the FD314 feels like a plug-and-play device. You pull it out of the box, place it on a sturdy desk, plug it in, and you're ready to go after a few seconds of pushing the power button. There's no need to wrestle with a manual that reads like a novel. Everything is labeled right on the front panel. The LCD screen shows a 3-digit counter that you can reset at any time, which is handy if you need to track how many batches you've processed for a client invoice or a printing job. The machine handles up to 250 sheets at a time, which translates to roughly 20 pounds of standard 75 GSM paper. For a small graphic design studio that prints flyers in batches of a few hundred, that capacity is actually generous. You load the top feed hopper, press a button, and the AutoBatch function starts feeding sheets one after another, automatically folding them according to the setting you chose. The 4 preset folds: letter, half letter, legal, and half-legal cover the most common formats you'll encounter in a typical office. The fold selectors are clearly marked, so even if you're the only person who knows where the half-legal button is, you won't have to guess. Now, let's talk about the real-world workflow. Imagine you're a freelance photographer who just finished a wedding shoot and needs to print 200 thank you cards. You print them on a standard printer, stack them, and feed them into the FORMAX. In under a minute, the machine cranks out a neatly folded stack, ready to be slipped into envelopes. The speed claim of 7,700 sheets per hour sounds impressive, but in practice you'll be limited by how fast your printer can spit out the pages and how often you need to refill the hopper. For most small batch tasks, you'll never push the machine anywhere near that ceiling, but it's reassuring to know the motor won't bog down if you decide to go bigger. If you run a busy front desk that needs to produce daily visitor badges, the FD314 can be a time saver. You print the badge sheets, feed a stack of 150 into the hopper, and the machine folds each badge in the letter setting, aligning them perfectly for a badge holder. The consistent fold eliminates the jagged edges you get when you fold by hand, which looks more professional when visitors see a clean stack waiting for them. That said, there are a few trade-offs that show up once you start using the machine day to day. The 250-sheet hopper is great for small runs, but if you regularly need to process 1,000 sheets at once, you'll find yourself stopping to reload every few minutes. The top feed system means you have to keep the paper stack flat. Thicker cardstock or heavily coated paper can cause jams, and the machine isn't set up for a bottom feed that some higher-end models offer. I've heard from a couple of office managers that they had to adjust the paper weight slightly down from 80 GSM to avoid feeding hiccups. So if you're planning to fold glossy flyers, you might need to test a few sheets first. Another point that matters is the resettable counter. It's perfect for tracking production, but it's limited to 3 digits, meaning it rolls over after 999 folds. If you're a print shop that does large volumes, you'll need to manually note the count before it resets. For most home offices or small businesses, that's not a deal breaker, but it's a nuance that can trip up people who expect a never-ending digital tally. The overall rating on Amazon sits at 3.8 out of 5 stars from 55 reviewers. While we don't have detailed snippets to quote, that middle ground score suggests the FD314 delivers on its core promise: quick, reliable folding for typical office needs while falling short for power users who need larger capacities or more specialized paper handling. The positives that keep the rating from dipping lower are the straightforward setup, the clear labeling, and the fact that it actually folds without tearing the paper when you stay within the recommended weight range. So, who should consider buying this? If you're a small to medium office that prints invoices, letters, or simple marketing flyers on a regular basis, the FORMAX FD314 is a solid addition. It shines for anyone who wants to eliminate the repetitive hand-folding step without investing in a pricey industrial folder. Freelancers, teachers preparing handouts, or home-based entrepreneurs who need to produce a tidy stack of documents each week will find the value in the time saved. Who might want to skip it if your workflow revolves